Give me some respect right now.
Oh, yeah.
Day 13 of Eagles training camp is in the books. I'm going to give you 3 quick takeaways from the session. Starting with the change on the offensive line. Landon Dickerson is obviously week to week now with a right meniscus injury. In place of Dickerson with the starting offense, Brett Toth got all of the snaps at left guard. Interestingly enough, Darian Kennard, who's been played on the right side throughout the summer, moved to left guard with the second team offense in place of Toth. Next, we should talk about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. They had one of the best stretches I've seen from them throughout the summer. It was a 4-play sequence, 4 passes, 4 completions from Jalen Hurts, all of which required high-level ball placement. Lastly, Andrew Mccuba is starting to get more first-team reps. He's been working with the starters in the dime package with the extra defensive back, but worked with Cooper DeJean, actually, with the first-team defense early in practice. We heard from him after practice. He said he's starting to get more comfortable diagnosing things in front of him.
It's the time you were hurt to get better. What was the process there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, coming off an ACL, like my entire focus was just getting my knee right. I think if I was looking back on it, I could have done a better job of getting to understand the scheme back then. So when I came back, I had a better opportunity to, get in the rotation, everything. But when I came back, I just focused on filling in my role, right? Like I said in the past, and I just took every moment there as an opportunity to get better with my knee, and I think that was my main focus.
So what is it like since you've gotten here? What has the energy been like for you, and how are you starting to fit into this pass rush room?
Yeah, before I signed here with Philly, I was at an NFLPA meeting, and I ran into my guy, Zach Bond. And, we kind of reflected a little bit on the year he had and kind of the situation coming from New Orleans. And he just told me the first thing he realized when he got to Philly was the energy, just from when you first walk in the building. And remembering him saying, yo, like, Philly could be a place for you to come to, when I was thinking about places. And he was 100% right, man. The energy here from the staff, the cafeteria room, to the janitor, to everything, everybody is high.
Shout out to T-Roy.
Yeah, shout out to T-Roy, man. Definitely.
Good dude.
Josh, how would you compare being here? I mean, you've played in some pretty high-profile spots. You were a New England Patriot. You were a Kansas City Chief. Now you're in Philadelphia. How would you compare the atmosphere here to a place like that? Because you've been in 3 spots where the expectation is to win and to win a championship.
Yeah, all of the places are different, but I'd say just from an organizational standpoint, I think things are just ran very, very efficiently here. I feel like Howie does a great job bringing in people that keep the machine rolling, man. I mean, just from staff to players to coaches to everybody. So just kudos to the organization and the higher-ups for keeping this a well-oiled machine.
What is it about Jalen Hurts to you that makes him so special?
He never settles. He doesn't settle for anything less than the best of himself, the best of others around him. He's always pushing himself and everyone around him to be great. Every aspect of everything that we do, and to have a leader like that, leading your offense, commanding your offense it's a beautiful thing, and that's why we win so many games, because we have the head honcho, the leader at the point of the attack, commanding the best out of everyone.
Did you get any calls after your sack?
Just from those close to me, just from family and friends congratulating me.
You said after the game that you put stuff on film and you're going to go back and watch it. What did you see when you looked at the tape after the Bengals game?
I mean, definitely in the run game when it comes to, taking on double teams, being able to hold my ground more. I was definitely getting too much knockback on myself where they were able to climb to the linebackers, and as well as getting off blocks to go make plays. That very first play of the game where I made a tackle, but it bled for 5 yards just because I wasn't able to snap off my guy to get in the gap to stop him at the line of scrimmage. Instead, I'm falling off while he's still going forward, and it's allowed to gain extra yardage, which at the end of the day will bleed you towards the end of the game.
What's a teaching point on that? How do you improve in that part of it? Technique? Is it a technique thing? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I feel like I've been working a lot more on my get off, being able to keep my feet alive. That was one thing I think was when I was making contact, I was finding myself bracing, just because how strong these guys are, not wanting to get moved. So when you don't move your feet, it's hard to be able to start moving them again to go make a play.
Has that been the biggest difference between college and the pros? Trying to disengage, is it much more difficult?
Yeah, that was along with execution as well. I just feel like it's very, I feel like the time and the pacing of the game is pretty similar. If not, I feel like some offenses, they like to really take the whole 40 seconds to really digest what the defense is showing them. But other than that, just kind of that strength-wise, getting used to that and, knowing what it's going to take to get off blocks.
You played a ton of snaps out of the shoot. How did you feel after that?
I was tired. Yeah, no, I went home and slept for like 10 hours. Like I was made sure to recover the right way. I got immediately in the building to go hit the tubs, do some stretching, some movement stuff just to make sure I didn't stiffen up, and I was ready for, the next day where we had another 2-hour practice.
I don't know what you did in Nebraska. Was that more snaps even than were you in a rotation?
No, it was pretty similar. In Nebraska expected a lot out of me, and obviously it's been a long time since I've had to do that, almost a year, right? So just to kind of get back into the swing of things, as long as you go through one hard thing once, it's not going to be hard the next time because you know what to expect.
How many different guys did you face on Thursday? How many different linemen did you?
I think it had to be 3 or 4 guys at guard and tackle, and sometimes a center. So if you really want to count everyone up, probably around 8 guys or something like that.
Could you see the different levels of player? Obviously, started against the starters, and then could you see the different level of players that you were?
I mean, yeah, to a certain degree, but those guys, they made it here as well. So obviously they're good enough to be where they're at. So obviously I have the respect for them that that they're a really well player, and and they're good enough to be out there.
What kind of feedback did you get from Clint Hurd or Vic Fangio?
Kind of just stuff I said earlier. Obviously they praised for the good, but obviously you want to get past that, not really worry about the good. You want to worry about the bad, so the bad doesn't happen again. So being able to come out here at practice and really just kind of focus on those kind of technique things I was talking about, and make sure just every day getting better at that stuff.
What was some of the good that you got the praise for? What did they like?
I feel like as a defensive line whole, we held our own pretty well. As for a group of guys that haven't played with each other before, so that obviously you just got to build that chemistry and trust with each other. That'll grow with each game.
You got drafted. We talked so much about your versatility playing up and down the line. How is that translated to the NFL?
I mean, yeah, they do expect me to play, in our nickel stuff all the way down to a shade sometimes, or with some checks in the base stuff to be a 6, outside of the tackle. And, I'm completely comfortable with that. Like I said, I'm willing to do whatever it is that they ask me to do and get better at it. And that's what I plan on doing each and every day.
Learning those different spots, how much time do you dedicate to each of them?
I guess from our standpoint, it's kind of all the same, if that makes sense. There might be one or two tweaks to each position, but really they're all kind of the same technique-wise and kind of same mentality.
How much are you looking forward to somebody different? You did it Thursday, but you have the Browns coming for the next 2 days. Your first experience with this, what are you looking forward to with that?
I'm super excited, man. To get to start tomorrow with the joint practices, kind of see how that rolls. Obviously they have some great players over there, so get to try to watch and observe and learn from their guys as well, just to see what they're good at. Kind of the freakiness sometimes of just what they have. So I'm really excited to get a part of that. And then when it comes to Saturday, just go out there and try to win a football game.
And Mason Graham was the 5th overall pick. How much are you familiar with his game? Do you watch him at all?
Yeah, me and Mason, we both trained at the same place during the combine, so we got to know each other pretty well. So, I'm really happy for him and excited to see what he could do when he comes out here.
13 practices, you have the preseason game. Do you get a feeling where you've improved the most, or are you two in it every day to get there?
I think where I've improved the most is kind of how do I want to say this? The pacing of the game, understanding. Now I'm getting more comfortable with the playbook, so now I'm able to go just as much faster when I'm out there on the field and be able to react more, put myself in positions to where maybe I wouldn't have found myself in, a week or two ago, and then learn from there where I need to go or what I need to do, whether it be getting off blocks or, play action passing, getting off and to go be able to rush the passer, or even, third down stuff to go and, start to work on my one-on-one pass rush stuff, or even, if I take slide, how do I split that slide, or how do I become impactful in that way?
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
You do.
Yeah, Aziz, you've been through these camps before. How does it feel now? You're kind of in the dog days, not many of them left. What's the mindset like now?
Nah, you just got to come out here, try to get better every single day. Keep pushing, keep grinding with your brothers, man. Just trying to find something to improve on every single day, really.
How has this camp been different than what you've been through before? More intense, more team periods, that kind of thing?
Nah, I feel like, every camp is intense and everyone is competitive, and, we just trying to go out there every single day and compete at the highest level we can with each other and try to get the best out of each one of us,
What do you think of this edge rotation you have here? It's young.
Yeah.
You're young, but you're one of the older guys. What do you think of this edge rotation?
Nah, man, we just coming in to work every day, man. We're trying to get better, each one of us, and we're trying to keep improving and try to play to the standard. As been here, how many great edge guys that came through this building and everything, and we're just trying to keep up and play with the standard and play with the intensity.
Always a big question for you. How are you health-wise? And how much is that impacting your career? Do you feel like there could be so much more if you had been able to be healthy?
Yeah, I'm healthy right now. I'm blessed to be healthy and to be able to be out here every single day competing and getting better and practicing, building that callus and things you need to do every single day. And I feel good, man. I feel healthy. Every day we all competing and we all trying to improve. And, everyone's just trying to come in, put their best foot forward every day and compete as hard as we can every day in camp.
What are your thoughts? What have you learned, I guess, from Nolan Smith and Jalen, if anything?
Yeah, just the way they do things here and the way we practice, the way things operate, and they've been here, they've been in the scheme, and they understand it, and little tips they could give me that I'm doing here, and I'm taking them and using it to my advantage.
What is different about this camp for you?
What's different? I don't really know if it's a difference for real. We're competing every day, we're working hard every day, and football is football at the end of the day, for real. That's how I feel like.
Saquon, as somebody who played with him before, has Saquon, I know you're a quiet guy, but has he talked any smack to you here, and did he used to?
Yeah, Saquon is always Saquon. He do what he do, he talks back, whatever. But at the end of the day, we all competing, and it's the fun, it's the nature of the game, and we love it and we enjoy it, So.
How much do you think Adoree has left?
I think he has a lot left, He's a guy to come in every day and compete, work hard, like he always did, and he's going to show it. I feel like I'm coming along really well and just honing in every single day. Just keep the reps are going to keep helping and improve everything with the scheme for real, I feel like.
What did you have to go through in the offseason to get ready? You missed the end of last season.
Yeah, the end.
What did you have to go through to get
towards the end of the season, I was getting back healthy, but I just couldn't get back out there before the last game of the season. And, with free agency, I'm healthy and I'm ready to roll now. So I did the work in the offseason, all the training and everything, and now I'm here, so I'm ready.
And you are young. What do you think your career can go? Do you feel like you're at a crossroads?
Yeah, I'm just taking one day at a time and just take it from there, one day at a time. Just be where my feet is and just keep rolling, keep working hard, and just keep trying to improve for real. You know, when I'm out there, just keep trying to improve and just keep getting better. Really.
Is that the kind of the same approach when you look at job security? Do you feel like you've earned anything, a job at this point, or every day you keep striving to do that?
Yeah, every day I just keep striving, man. Just try to prove myself, come out here, work hard every day, and compete. You know, at the end of the day, that's all you can do. You just come out here, compete to your best, and enjoy the game, and have fun with it. For real.
Have you learned anything new from Coach Washburn?
Who?
Coach Washburn?
Oh, Coach Washburn, yeah, a lot, man. He pushes us every single day, man. He wants the best from us every single day when we come out here, compete, just play hard. And, the standard's the standard. The guys that have been here before, the greats we had here, and, they're the standard. We just kind of live up to it and keep competing.
Who did you admire most from, because you played against them a lot.
Yeah.
Core-wise, who did you admire most of those guys, Brandon and those guys?
Josh Sweat, he's a dog. He's a beast. I love his game. BG too. He did it all. Powerful guy. All-around player. It's a lot of guys that came through. And those who really, I've been playing. We played against seen them the last 4 years when I was
Talk to BG at all this offseason?
Yeah. I see him around in the facility all the time. Man, he just keep working hard. Just is here, man. It's a spot to be.
What do you like about joint practices?
Just competing. Another thing is you get to see guys that you may know of, and be able to ask questions, get some pointers from. I think that's one of the great things about joint practice besides competition, just learning from each other. And then that bondage, I guess, because some of them former teammates or college, high school, whatever it may be, so guys that you know. So to be able to catch up is cool.
Shedeur Sanders has gotten a lot of praise for his first preseason game. How familiar are you with him and what he can do?
I just know that he is a great player and a great person from just what I've seen. Don't know too much, about him, but I have seen that he's been doing the same thing since it was high school when Prime had his Truth team, to him at Jackson State, to him at Colorado, and to him in the league now. So I think it's a testament to not just himself, but those that were around him, his dad, his brothers, for keeping him going and keeping him in a straight line, to be able to handle adversity and all the different things that may come his way. So I'm excited to see what he does in his career in the league.
How was your forehand fitting with the room?
Great, because I feel like, the competition-wise, it's great to have. And then I think he's also a good person. I think that's what goes along with bringing people into this locker room, not just having someone that can play ball exceptionally well, but make sure they can fit and gel and mesh mentally with you and physically as well with the guys to be able to come out here and do what he's supposed to do. So.
From the game Thursday night against the Bengals, like the way you and Keely kind of performed?
I'm sorry, you said takeaways from the game, and it phased out a little bit after that.
How you and Keely kind of performed, what your takeaways are from that, like what learning experience?
The takeaways from the game were just honing in on the fundamentals, the details of your job, your assignment, and just going out there and be able to perform. I think that's the biggest takeaway, at least for me, of the game, was just the details, fundamentals, and technique will really help you thrive and succeed, in this league.
Dory, with all the moving pieces in the secondary, how much has Reed meant just in terms of communication?
Reed has been, a great communicator, not just on the field when you see him, but off the field, with us as well as teammates in the locker room, to be able to help with anything. And I feel like he gives him, it's like an open door. You feel okay with asking questions or him speaking to you because you know that he comes from a great place, and he's been in this system, obviously, undrafted, I believe, and to be able to, have 4 takeaways last year, be able to start and to establish yourself on this team and in this league, you can respect that, and, when someone like that speaks, you want to listen because he's done got it out the mud or the dirt, as some people would say, and it's been successful.
How good was Aziz when you guys were with the Giants, and do you feel like the numbers could be a lot bigger if he'd just been able to stay healthy?
I think Aziz, his rookie year, I think he may have had 10 sacks. I don't know. I think so. But I used to joke with him all the time, like, might get defensive rookie of the year. You know what I mean? Like, and he was playing at a high level. But in the same conference, we did have Michael Parsons that came out the same year with him. So I think he won it that year. But I think Aziz, is an exceptional talent. He works hard, very quiet, but respectable to the game, to his teammates, to his coaches, and just wants to go out there and get better. So I think Aziz is an exceptional talent.
And I know it's hard for you to watch another position when you're playing the game, but can you see the same traits in him now that, He's still a very young guy.
Yeah, I take it to, I don't know the guy who asked me about Shador, but pretty much, you know, to be able to stay in this league, to be able to produce in this league, you have to be able to do what got you here. And I feel like he's been able to do that, and I don't expect nothing less. When I go out there and see him, he does great moves. He's doing great things, you know, to help himself and then help us as well, you know. And I think that's the great thing about this team, to be able to feed off each other. And you said, like, to see what others are doing. Like, you see somebody rushing his tail off. Now you just want to cover your tail off, because those two go hand in hand. And maybe one might not be there and the other one is, and it's still helpful. So just to be able to lock in, like I was saying earlier, the details, the technique, and the fundamentals of the game. You know your brother's doing his job. You just want to do yours.
What are your early impressions of the new guy, Ja'Cory and Bennett? I know you've only had a few practices with him, and what he kind of brings to the competition in the game.
My first impressions was he's a cool dude. You know, I asked him about Tay Banks because he was with Tay, and he said that was his guy. And I'm like, Tay a good dude, so if that's your guy, I assume that you're a good person as well. He asks me a lot of questions. I give him answers when needed. And I feel like that's nice for a guy to come into a situation wanting to learn, wanting to be the best they can be, even after the day or after practice, you know, just always talking to be able to help each other out. And he does a lot of great things well, as if you've seen in the scrimmage. Is exceptional, able to get his hands on, you know, pressing, can play off. From what I've seen in the individual drills, has great ball skills. And I read something like he played only 8 games last year or whatever, and had 10 PBUs. So that also tells you a lot about him. You know, a competitor that has a knack for the ball. So I think, you know, with him coming in, not just being a competitor, I'm always going to say this, man, he's a good person, and he meshes well in the room with us.
Speaking of Tay, are you surprised that he's having to play for a job up there?
See, when you say surprise, I want to say yes, but I also want to say no, because I feel like every year you should be feeling like you're fighting for a job, no matter if you're the cornerback 1, cornerback 2, 3, 4, all the way to 7. I feel like, you know, you always should be competing or feel like you're in the competition for the job, because competition just helps you grow and become better. I haven't really followed or known too much on that situation, but, you know, those are my guys. So whoever he's battling with, you know, I'm always going to root for him, you know, because I done blood, sweat, and tears with the guys, and know the player they can be, and seeing great things out of them as well. So always wishing for the best for him. Yeah, appreciate you.
It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. What are you going to bring to the doggone table? Are you going to bust somebody in their mouth? Are you going to do your doggone job? Are you going to play from your doggone chest? Are you going to play from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Because I'm going to do that. They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today,